Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Starladder Season 9. It was supposed to be our final day of round robin play, but it seems like we'll have an extra day or two to sort things out and see how things are going. This is, whoops, let's see, why is that not working? Where's my draft? Well, let me show my draft overlay. Whatever. Who cares? It's Season 9. It's Day 31 of Group Stage play for Starladder Europe. Virtus Pro versus Power Rangers. Neither team with a shot at the playoffs. Neither team in danger of being shunted down to the relegation matches. Both teams will be around for next season, assuming they don't disband or have massive roster changes. So VP 8 and 6, Power Rangers 6 and 8. This is more of just a for fun kind of match. Practice for the teams, but nothing as far as the land finals or future seasons directly at stake. So we'll just be having a grand old time here. By the way, I would be remiss if I did not mention that if you're not already doing so, you probably should be watching this EG versus Cloud9 match as well, at least up on your second monitor, because there have been some major dunks going on. Arteezy Axe in the house, and despite the delay, I definitely enjoyed casting that, or watching that one, not casting that. And apparently there's some BM in their chat now. But yeah, VP versus Power Rangers, your all-CIS affair. Power Rangers, a team that's had a lot of good starts, but not a lot of good finishes. And as for VP, I have not cast them enough to feel like I have a huge handle on them. But in general, VP, just a team that also seems kind of hit or miss. Some drafts, they just come out flat. They feel like they don't have the right heroes, or G doesn't have good momentum, and the game just quickly falls apart. And then other games, they're crushing. It's just kind of these typical, like, strong but not dominant CIS teams. Your Power Rangers, VP. I would have said Rock's Kiss, although as of late they started to really separate themselves from the pack, where you just never know what to expect from day to day. And, well, we'll see who comes out gunning in this game. The second of 3 games on the day. The Power Rangers on the Radiant side, VP on the Dire. And we'll take a look at the draft here. In terms of bans, 100% standard. Nothing in the slightest bit unusual. Centaur first pick. Pretty common, I would say. Not super common, but pretty common. And Power Rangers reply with Batrider, Shadow Shaman. So a support hero that's been popular with some of the North American teams, and the Chinese teams getting a little love here from Mother Russia. Well, specifically from Belarus in the case of Power Rangers. But they'll go Batrider, they'll go Shadow Shaman, and Virtus Pro quick to reply with the Nyx. So they get themselves 2 tanky melee heroes. They're off-laner. Looks to be probably a support mix as well. And then we go into the second stage of bans, at which point VP ban out the Nature's Prophet. They ban out the Slark. Actually interesting bans, considering that Power Rangers already have a Batrider. Could be their solo mid for Scandal, but could also very well be that off-laner. So, yeah, I guess we'll just wait and see if VP's on the money here. Banning out Slark, banning out Nature's Prophet. Pretty much expecting, it looks like, for the Batrider. I guess the Batrider could, in theory, go off-lane, and then Prophet or Slark go solo mid. But most likely, those kinds of bans suggest they think that Power Rangers don't have their off-laner yet. So, either way, just those versatile, aggressive early to mid-game gankers, split pushers, pressure-type heroes. VP would have removed them. They pick up a Silencer, and this is where Power Rangers might have been thinking of something like a Storm Spirit, potentially just run the off-lane Bat, solo mid-Storm. But Silencer and Nyx, that is a difficult duo for a Storm Spirit to go up against. So they may think twice. There's also a Puck. Power Rangers doesn't need a vehicle for the Lifestealer. They already have the Batrider, and the Shadow Shaman, who often builds Blink, but I think they do need a little more control. They've got some good single target lockdown, but a little bit of team fight. That's mainly what they're lacking here. Also some AoE. I think Puck would be a pretty strong choice. Something that Scandal has played quite a bit, but I think what we're more likely to see out of Scandal is something like a Templar Assassin, maybe a Shadow Fiend, as VP are a bit lacking in damage over time. Shadow Fiend would be a bit risky, but Silencer, Nyx, if those are the supports, they're likely to just be sitting back and getting their levels up early on. So it could work. Power Rangers will go into a Visage, and they'll delay their final selection. Again, technically it's still up in the air if it's an off-lane Bat or if it's a solo mid Bat, but I'm leaning towards the off-lane match. It's a little bit more versatile. If he has a poor time in the lane, he can go woods. Whereas you run bat mid, sure, he can use the woods, but it means that you've got to have an off-laner who doesn't get shut down early, because not many other heroes left in the pool at this stage who can rotate there easily. VP will go Morphling, though. So they get some very strong late game. Morphling, a great matchup for Lifestealer, Natural Ethereal Blade Builder, which completely counters Lifestealer. And the shotgun, quite effective. Lifestealer's pretty tanky, but most Lifestealers generally build like your Abyssal Blade, your Assault Cross. They don't build ultra tanky. You don't normally see a heart or anything beyond an armlet that gives you a ton of HP. So they'll be sending around like 2.5k HP, even late game. And a Morphling E-Blade can instantly remove 2/3 plus of that. Not to mention, Manta, great for dealing with open wounds. Morphling normally builds that. And I think overall it's a pretty good choice. Power Rangers do not have any silences, or the only reliable lockdown here would probably be the Shadow Shaman. VP in the final stage, well, Power Rangers had their shot at the Storm. They won't take it, so it will be banned. And now, do they go for a Puck here? Do we maybe see more of like a semi-carry for Scandal? Now this Morphling's come off the board. Puck does okay against this VP draft when he's initiating, but VP are very good at ganking him with the Global, the Nyx. Just a very versatile line. I feel like they want a little more punch, Power Rangers do, and that's where TA Shadow Fiend could come in handy. And Shadow Fiend has just been all the rage in Russian Dota as of late.
Templar Assassin.
It will be a TA, so pretty much expected.
Turn to pick.
Just generally the Power Rangers style. It's been more popular in general lately. We've even seen EG going for stuff like this. Super did it for Vici Gaming in the match I cast of them earlier. And it seems like Templar Assassin is a hero that's trending upwards as of late. Don't know if the win rate's supporting the picks, but she is definitely a fun hero. So for Power Rangers, they've got a good mix here of physical damage, magical damage, lockdown, carry potential. I do like this Power Rangers draft. The only area they're a bit lacking in is teamfight, but VP, well, I'd say they have the edge there. They've got the Centaur Ultimate, Global Silence. The main concern for VP is just the long cooldown of Global Silence. Every single hero on Power Rangers can fight nearly constantly, but VP, when Global's down, they will be much weaker. So they'll need to use the Global effectively to find pickoffs and make sure that it's not just wasted. Silencer picks just seem to go one of two ways. It's either you use the Global offensively to set up kills and your team just crushes, or you get caught out of position, you have to pop the Global to try and stay alive, and you don't have it to force the issue. It's an ability that just sets other stuff up. It does nothing on its own, really. Silencer not going to kill anyone by himself just with the Global, so let's see if they're able to utilize it effectively in this game. But, well, that being said, guys, we are inside the game now. It's our second of 3 matches. VP playing Power Rangers, and then the big match, the one that everyone's really waiting for, Empire versus Roxkiss. That match coming up directly after this, assuming no delays. Knock on wood. Well, on the dire side, you've got VP Arsart. He's the off-lane player for this team, the 3 position. He'll be headed bottom. G, your solo mid extraordinaire, handling the Beastmaster. NS will be playing that support silencer. You have Illidan, or Airman, as he used to be known. I still miss his old name. But he'll be on the Morphling, and he's saying, let's go straight. Never go full agility. Not even on Morphling himself. Jadam, your Nyx Assassin. And then on the Radiant side, you've got the Belarusian squad. You've got Cheshire Cat as your off-lane Bat Rider, Zik as the Visage, Scandal, going to be playing the solo mid Templar Assassin, J4, the Mad Bomber on the Shadow Shaman, and that leaves FNG as your safe lane Lifestealer. So, looks like pretty standard lanes here for Power Rangers. Visage going to check the top rune, and after that point, he should look to just rotate into his own woods. Already they've dropped down a Sentry mid. You want to drop the Sentry mid so TA cannot use Meld just to potentially dodge incoming ganks. Also just lets you harass her a little bit more effectively. Creeps will aggro her if she's in the front lines. So we have a pause from an admin here. Nope. We have a resume from an admin. His name is also SLTVX. But this is season 9. Very confusing. NS gets an illusion rune. Zik is not going to enjoy this. 285 boost speed to the 300 of the silencer. He'll be under heavy harassment. We'll be driven back the illusions, throwing out a little bit more chip damage. NS just wants to get that one last auto attack off. Really sick it to him, and oh boy, will he ever. Brings him down to half HP. So, VP going defensive, no, not surprising at all. They have a Nyx as well as a Silencer as their supports. Two of the just worst ganking roaming supports. Not very good in the aggressive tri-lane, unless you have two ranged heroes with the Nyx. Silencer, Curse of the Silent Harass is annoying, but ultimately not hugely effective in most cases. Meanwhile, bottom lane though, Arsart does eat open wounds. He's only level 1 here now. The Grave Choke comes out. They have not taken a point in Soul Assumption, but they won't need it. First Blood going the way of Power Rangers. This 6 and 8 team. Looking to even it up and go 7 and 8 on the season. See if they can do that. Mid lane, TA versus Beastmaster. Generally a very TA favored matchup after the early levels, but with the Sentry Ward here, it may be a little bit tougher for Scandal. Beastmaster for G is going early points at Inner Beast. The main question is, will he take the boar, or will he just look to level up Inner Beast to keep on pushing the lane? The reason you want to push the lane is just to prevent the TA from rune controlling. TA, not the best hero at clearing the waves. She's decent, but not as good as a hero like Beastmaster, especially early on. So this could afford G some additional rune control. Also, it can allow them to transition into an early Roche attempt, with Morphling going full Agi, and the Beastmaster just getting the early points to Inner Beast. We'll see. That won't be for some time, but for now, Power Rangers, they'll be doing the double pull here, and looks like they'll be stacking this camp as well, so very efficient jungling off the bat. As Arsart waits for a rune. Will J4 be able to deny it? It spawns top.
Double damage!
Double damage rune for the Cheshire Cat. He'll come mid. Looks like he's just going to go woods now, so it's a little bit of an awkward timing to start going into the woods because he's... Ideally, you want to arrive here just in time to stack a camp, but he wanted to check the rune first, and now... he'll take the stacks here. So they'll give them all to the Batrider, and the supports will hang around bottom, but spotted out by a Dire Observer ward here earlier, and they actually drop a Sentry ward, feeling like the Centaur knows what's up. Will they deploy another is the question. Well, they'll hide in the trees, but it's not going to be very effective. Mostly just pride on the line here, as well as not being punished for future seasons of Starladder. After the forfeits the past few days, I imagine if I'm a Starladder admin, I'm thinking, like, oh boy, we might just have to start giving teams forfeits. Or just not letting them play next season, rather, if they're going to forfeit a bunch. But yeah, overall, safe lane, Morphling, early Magic Stick, early boots to deal with the Batrider, but the Batrider's not actually laning against him anymore, so I'm curious what kind of a build we see out of Illidan. CSing pretty well, 16 and 5. Not as good as FNG in the safe lane, though. And safe lane Morphling, once he's left alone, should not be missing any last hits, so expect him to step it up. Meanwhile, these supports for Power Rangers going for the backstab. They'll look to push in this lane. FNG, already the phase boots online. He'll tango up in a second, I imagine, and just hanging around the tree line. Just outside of dire vision. Although I think he walked right over here.
Dire's
yeah, they already showed themselves.
Under attack.
So Arsart knows what's up. He's got tangos ready, and if they actually commit to this, this could be a big mistake from J4. Looks like he's not going to. Meanwhile, everybody's bottling. Wait, Cheshire Cat. Okay. I was wondering if Scandal had purchased 2 bottles for a second there. I was thinking, go home, LD, you're drunk. It can't be possible, but just failed on one of my clicks. My precision a bit lacking in the second cast of the day. FNG, top is rage, but a little bit late. Takes the damage there from the last word, and well, are they gonna look to dive this tower? Not without the creep wave. They'll wait for the next wave, then they might go for an aggressive dive. Because really, what's Silencer gonna do about that? He'll just back off, maybe throw out a few glaives, but for now it looks like they forced out the TP, they'll be content with a pull. Pull comes out from J4. Your Batrider now re-enters the top lane. Already boots, bottle, and 400 gold, so doing a decent job after a pretty rough start in the lane. Illidan looks like straight Lincoln's Rush. Picks up the early Ring of Help. An uncontested Morphling, I feel like you could definitely justify just a straight Midas. That hero needs the levels very badly. And he's not really the quickest flash farmer in the mid-game. He's better than some heroes, like a Lifestealer, but you compare him to a Luna, a Shadow Fiend, and it's really not comparable. He can't clear massive stacks the way they can, so I think Midas is pretty justifiable on him if you're left alone, but he'll go for the early Lincolns. Definitely a strong choice this game. VP have a lot of single target lockdown. Hold that thought. As middle lane, there'll be initiation on Scandal. He does have meld available. Do they have detection for him? They have the 1 Sentry and Jotum. But it won't be enough. They got off the roar, but there's just no follow-up. Meanwhile, FNG, he thought he forced out a TP from NS, which he did, but then as NS just cancels it, seeing that the lifestealers backed off. So he'll get himself some extra experience. I do like the move to dual lanes from VP, main reason being that they need levels on these supports, and they can only get so much top. G, caught out by a trap, Scandal coming in, looking for the kill. G on that Beastmaster, will fall. Nice soul assumption to secure the kill. I didn't think that was that fun.
I run.
Man, he really enjoyed that. That was like quite a laugh, man. I don't know. That wasn't that funny. Bottom lane, there's a double edge, and now Arsart, he's put himself at low HP. FNG tanking the tower right around the Rosie. Needs to juggle this aggro. A-click a creep. A-click a creep. He almost goes down. Now, Soul Assumption's there. They secure the kill. It's Weejo turn. Needs to juggle that creep aggro. He'll be successful in doing so. And back comes FNG. Tower. Last hit goes to FNG. 1900 gold up. Big tower kill for him. If he wants Midas, he's pretty much got it. If he wants drums, he has it. And if he wants to rush Harmlet, he's got half of it. So either way, FNG having a really strong start. Oh, use Infest in the woods, heal himself back up, and just look to continue farming. PR with the TA Lifestealer dual core and having such great lockdown on their 3 support / utility heroes, they don't really need to force things. They can take this to the mid game pretty comfortably as long as they keep their farm up, which they've done on both of their key heroes. Sure, Beastmaster's farming, but end of the day, you'll always be happy to trade a TA for a Beastmaster's farm. And it looks like they will take that slightly more late game oriented approach. Midas for the Lifestealer. 7.5 minutes after the phase boots. Very, very fast farm for him. At the same time, though, Illidan's up to 800 gold. At the rate he's going, he should be able to have a Lincoln's by around like the 15-minute mark or so. If he gets a tier 1 tower last hit, potentially if he gets a hero kill, it could even come sooner than that. Now NS will scout the bottom arena once again. He's foiled, he's flummoxed, as the rune will spawn top. G, heading straight for that. He'll pick it up. Let's see if he can do something with this roar. The first roar made very ineffective. Radiant team did see the rune, so they know he's got this
Radiant's
invis.
top tower is under attack.
He'll deploy just another trap bottom, but they already saw that top rune spawn. So they know G's got it. The question is, are they going to play safe enough? FNG, no infest for 15 seconds. They want to bring him down. Centaur, however, also doesn't have ultimate. Just gets it now, though. But there's now an infest online. Tough kill. VP, they're running a Centaur and a Beastmaster. You want to be ganky with these two. Sure, they've got some late game in the Morph lane. The Silencer can go pretty late as a support hero if he gets his levels up, but if you just want to sit back and farm, you go like PR did. You run a TA mid, Shadowfee mid. You run a farmer. If you're just going to sit back and farm, this is not the right draft for it, so they'll have to look to fight mid. There is a Centaur ultimate available, not popped though, and they just slaughter NS really.
Itself.
Easy meld strike.
Why I'm here.
Going for a D-ward mid.
No.
How did they lose the vision there? Radiant must have D-warded their sentry first or something. Either way, Cheshire Cat will back off the top lane, and still no Blink Dagger online. 1,500 gold up. He's getting pretty close to it. And for PR, they really need that Blink, because he is the initiator. Shadow Shaman wards get dropped in the river, but the Centaur ult's forced out. And a big win here for VP. They know the wards are down. Sure, they use their Centaur ult, but that Centaur ult will come off cooldown relatively quickly. 20 seconds or so will be the window once the wards are... where the wards are still on cooldown and the Centaur ult's back online. But VP make a smoke gank bottom. They'll strike out towards FNG. Already the bracer up, getting
Dire's
quite
middle
big.
tower is under attack.
And Power Rangers, with their first wards having been somewhat wasted, they can't really apply too much pressure on the map.
Dire's
So
middle
give a
tower
regen
is
rune here to
under attack.
J4. Definitely needs that additional mana. Dropped his Arcane Boots. Will now pick him back up. And TA's close to her blink. So I imagine we'll see Power Rangers with the dual blinks here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Cheshire Cat. That is not where a bat wants to roam. Gets caught out by the poor. And now the Beastmaster. Giving him the right clicks. Giving him the business. Chase, chase, chase. Is there an X Impale? Goes for it. Oh, he's just not confident.
Dire's
He hesitated.
middle tower is under attack.
And that split second of hesitation gives him an out. In the end, your Bat Rider will survive. And this means Cheshire Cat, his Blink Dagger should be still relatively timely. How's that Lincoln Sphere looking? Getting close. He went back for treads. He's got recipe gold here, so he just needs an ultimate orb. So it does look like a 15-16 minute blink or Lincoln Sphere if he doesn't die. Pretty good timing, I must say. Meanwhile, top though, they've isolated Ouija 6 next to the tower, and Illidan's gonna quickly deal with him. Now waving over the top, focusing on FNG, who has infest, uses it, pops in, pops out immediately. Well, the old in and out trick. And now the Blink Dagger's coming out for everybody. G's gonna pick one up. Your Templar Assassin will snag one as well. Bat Rider's Blink coming soon to a theater near you. And the one hero who's would like to have one that doesn't yet is that Nyx. Well, looks like our Lifestealer overstayed his welcome. Illidan finds a solo kill on him after killing off the Visage. That, frankly, should not happen, but stuck around, probably didn't have Rage available, and just got Waveform right-click down. It's hard for Lifestealer to just flat-out lane against Morphling. They really should try to get a gank on him. Sure, they're farming on their dual core, but now that they fed a few kills, his Lincoln Sphere timing is going to be filthy fast. Already the ultimate orb. I just said, oh, he's got Lincoln Sphere recipe gold now. Then he gets the 2 kills. Suddenly, he's got ultimate orb gold instead. 1,200 into Lincolns. Could be more like a 14-minute Lincolns at the rate he's going. Meanwhile, G and NS are hunting. Moving through the Radiant jungle. Just searching for a kill here. The Hawk giving them some vision, but they haven't seen anyone just yet. Until now. Mid lane, FNG showed himself. He just died once. He could well die again. This would be a disaster for PR. At least his Midas has been used, but there's a Blink Roar. Perfect timing as he's already blown the Rage, which means they can follow this up with an Impale. Global Silence is ready. They're going to pop it, but I don't know if they have the damage. They need this Morphling in the fight. Last word, doing good damage. Not enough. Now Illidan, hexed up, held at long range by the Shackles. Can they burst him down? Yes, they can. Oh, that hesitation there. He thought about sticking around, and that cost him his life. Now Arsart just getting blown up. Scandal just slices his head off, decapitation style with the side blades. And now VP, suddenly on the way out. There's still a Blink Lasso. They can make this a 3-0, and they will do so. NS, no ultimate. Down she goes. That Silencer just not getting anything done. So far, 1-2-1. First Global Silence was a complete flop. And this is where VP now have to wait a solid 2.5, well, 2 minutes, I guess, at this point, before they could look to fight again. And while Global's down, Power Rangers, they can fight. No Rasta Wars, but they've got Lasso cooling down relatively soon. There's not much preventing them from engaging. Good news for VP is, well, actually it's pretty bad news for VP. I was going to say, at least Morphling's still farming well, but he's not even the leader in net worth. Your TA's the leader, and so too your Lifesteal is farming well. Despite his death, they're both on top. They have the 1 tower advantage here, but even when you factor that in, it means they're just about dead even. Well, the Morphling's still, I think, still a little bit behind the TA, even with the tower advantage, and the Lifesteal are about dead even. He's definitely not going to be able to do it alone. This Lifestealer TA combo should be able to outcarry a Morphling if they supports play equally well. They'll need some plays out of the Silencer. The first Global Silence was not effective, but that doesn't mean the future ones can't be. It's just tough against VP because Power Rangers have such good just mobility and survivability. Your TA is very hard to bring down. So too is the Lifestealer. And things like Familiar's Bat Rider are always able to scout. But VP will strike a course through the enemy jungle. Second smoke since the laning stage ended, and they'll be making the move towards mid. There's 2 heroes there, Cheshire Cat and J4, the Mad Bomber. And they'll look to fight again now that the Global Silence has come off cooldown. So VP have found a new opening. NS, however, has been revealed on the high ground, but it's nighttime, and Power Rangers have not seen him. Sometimes you see a ward here, but it's not the case. Now Batrider goes in. They focus on our side, but this has all the makings of a big, bloody mess. Or is it? Out comes the Lifestealer. He was trapped inside the TA, so not affected by that global. Then comes out. Could go straight to work on NS. Rage. Open wounds. It just starts melting him. The medallion cleans him up. Now Illidan on the run. Sticky Napalm stacking up. He'll be forced to replicate out. It looked like it was going to be good for VP, but that TA Lifestealer combo just came in, had already used most of their spells, or was infested in the case of the Lifestealer, and just started doing work. Now, Morphling waving over the top, that's his Lincoln Sphere goal. Gets the kill. No replicate, though. Uh-oh, Illidan could be in trouble here. Did it manage to buy it? Wow. He had a lot of time to buy the Lincoln Sphere. He had a whole lot of time. I am really surprised he didn't buy it there. That was like 6-7 seconds. Oh, that really hurts. I mean, I'll have it when he respawns, but just losing some unnecessary gold and also having to go back and farm it before he can look to fight. Meanwhile, J4 is close to a Blink Dagger. This is where Lincoln Sphere should help keep him alive. Definitely a necessary item this game, but at the same time, it's just not that quick. And if you're packing some backup, potentially a Lifestealer infested, you can break through the Lincoln Sphere and still come out on top. Just blink in with the Shadow Shaman, pop out, open wounds, insta-hex.
Dire's top tower
That's a
has
kill.
fallen.
Meanwhile, Midas. Midas gaming on the Visage of all heroes. Visage, probably one of the better supports against the Lifestealer. Has a very spammable single target nuke in the form of the Soul Assumption to break the Lincoln Sphere. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Alright, he'll be okay for now, but Illidan is definitely under heavy pressure. Not getting the free farm top lane. Oh, now back to the bottom lane where the Batrider ends up going down. Illidan, there's an FS pop back out, should be okay. Just keeping this Morphling down though. Illidan will finally have a Lincoln Sphere gold in a moment here and tries to claim some familiars on the way out. Not gonna get either. I assume he's gonna buy it.
Structures are
Is he reevaluating his item choice? I wonder if he's thinking, like, I just need to go shotgun because my team needs the damage. It's very odd not to buy it, though, at this point.
Radiant's
And the tower will fall bottom as well?
fallen.
Okay, no, he's going to buy it. Just takes a little while to purchase it. Yeah, it's just... Perseverance is very expensive if you want it just... If you just want the regen, you're much better off getting a bottle, maybe a Reign of Aquila. Items that offer you a lot more stats and just utility through the early to mid game and don't cost so much. So, you're pretty much obligated, I would say, to go Lincoln Sphere at that point. VP with 4 heroes setting up shop in the bottom lane, and the Morphling soon to join them. That'll be 5 for VP. In terms of gold experience, it's a hefty lead for PR, but remember, they do have 2 Midases, and they also have a 2 tower advantage, actually, so... You subtract the Midas gold, since it doesn't do that much for them in the fights as of yet, and you subtract that tower advantage, and it's probably more like a 5k gold lead, but that's only for now. If the Midases keep on being used and there's no real pressure, then, well, then you go into the late game, and it's hard to see how VP come out on top there. They do have some great late game teamfight, but what they lack is damage output. Visage does way more damage than anyone except for the Morphling on this VP squad, and it's a similar story for the other heroes. The TA, the Lifestealer. This is a really good Ghost Scepter game. I feel like VP should be going 2, 3 Ghost Scepters, E-Blade, maybe a 4 staff in there.
Tower is under attack.
But Power Rangers, while they have the double Midas advantage, they do have a bit of a teamfight disadvantage, in theory, so they'll just look to dodge the fights. Pop the Rasta wards mid, secure the tier 2.
Dire's middle tower has
While VP
fallen.
will also go for the trade. Flame Break comes in bottom, and Morphling continues to wail away on the tower. Illidan will get the last hit.
Bottom tower
Nicely done by him, and much needed gold into his
Dire's middle
pockets.
tower is under attack.
Lincoln should be the next choice. For all the reasons I mentioned, as a defensive item, it's fantastic. Obviously, it's still a good offensive item this game. Power Rangers have Rage on the Lifestealer, but and BKB on
top
Scandal.
tower is
So it'll
under
only be good
attack.
for killing the backline heroes, but it is still very good for that. And ultimately, they're not going to be able to just take it late and without getting some kills along the way. They need to apply pressure. And E-Blade is simply the best pressure item for a Morphling in, like, I'd say 80-90% of games. This one included. Roche is up, and VP will make their move for it. They've cleared out quite a few towers, but not the tier 1 mid. That's an important tower to contest the Roche. NS is sitting right outside the pit. In fact, he's in the front lines if they get engaged upon. And speaking of engagements, here we go. Infest on Scandal. Dire Observer Ward will spot this moving out. They'll see right over here, and they will retreat successfully for now. Familiars on the Scout and VP. They'll just trot back to the Ancients. Take the safe, easy farm. No risk. Lots of reward. For now, the Familiar's just going to scout things out. Lifestealer Infest will end, so now if VP go into the pit, it's going to be a little bit harder for Virtus Pro to contest that. Or sorry, for PR to contest that. And FNG. Continue to farm. Has the armlet up. Going for your very standard, like, dual core Lifestealer build. Sanji Asha would be the next choice. But he could also just opt to skip that and go for something a little bit more late game focused. Assault Cuirass is an option. Potentially even something like an Abyssal Blade straight away. I think having that lockdown is very helpful. Just killing off Silencer before he globals, killing off Centaur before he can ult. These two heroes are, or even a Nyx, just killing him off during rage. That is, all three of them can turn fights on their own.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And Power Rangers do see that a Roche attempt is going on. They've got the ward here giving them vision of that segment of the Roche pit, and they'll look to go in now, try and contest. Cheshire Cat blinks in, Flame Break hits on 5. Wow, a lot of damage. This will force Illidan back. The Familiar's also flying high and in hot
Dire's
pursuit.
top tower is under attack.
VP are just not going to get this Roche for free. Meanwhile, Scandal will find a double damager, and now the fight is very difficult. VP are just going to have to back off. The problem for them is going to be if they can't stall for the next 2 minutes.
Dire's top
They
tower
can TP
is
the
under
Morphling top,
attack.
rotate him back towards the team with the Replicate, which they're maybe looking to do now.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Now he's going to go farm bottom. The rest of the team will head towards top. But there's just no hurry here for Power Rangers. With the double Midas, with the dual core, the better supporting cast as the game gets later and later. Well, I mean, I guess it's pretty equal. I would give Power Rangers a bit of an edge, mostly for damage output. But it's not a huge edge. But mostly just the dual core. It relieves a lot of pressure, and they can be just very selective about when they engage. But Roche is dropping low. And Power Rangers, I think they're just going to snag it. They'll get the
Roshan
Aegis
has
to
fallen
Scandal.
to the Radiant.
Uncontested even. Oh, that's a big loss. Not only do VP need the Aegis, they need the gold. In terms of farm, they're just slipping further and further behind. You know, it's funny, when I started casting Power Rangers, they were a team that just constantly took the fight to their opponents, but especially with adding Scandal to the team, they've transitioned into more of like a farming-oriented team. They'll be aggressive at times, but they seem to balance the aggression with scaling towards late game a bit more in terms of their drafts and their item selections in general. Meanwhile, blink here, blink there. They'll go on to Cheshire Cat, who did blink in to initiate. Now the Centaur Stomp followed. He's still trapped on the cliff for now. The Global comes out. Oh, they could just BKB on this TA and look to go in. But Scandal's going to miss on the first trap. Now blinks in anyway. Melt Shot's there. Just blows up that Nyx Assassin. Oh, boy. That was quite a cleave. In your face. In comes the Courier now. It's got a Basher up for the Lifestealer. So I actually like this choice better than going Sanji Asha. It's an item that just isn't really that good at just focusing heroes down in the fights. It's more of like a chasing item, but VP, chasing them is not going to be easy with the Sentinel. You're better off just blink in, just use the Abyssal Blade and look to kill someone off.
Is under attack.
Move speed not going to be that effective this game, I feel. Plus they need they could use the additional lockdown. They don't need it, but it just overall I think it adds more. Plus the way the game's going, they're winning the fights now, and this secures the late game for them. So you can transition into your Assault Cuirass next. Potentially even a late game Heart is an option. And Illidan's just going to have a rough time. Mithril Hammer. Looks like he wants to go BKB. I just don't see it. Power Rangers still have good lockdown to deal with BKB carries, and again, the issue is they'll try to focus on Scandal here. Stop. Double edge follow-up. Already, they forced out the refraction. He does not want to use BKB.
Radiant's
so
top tower is under attack.
in the end, he will pop his Aegis, which had approximately 4 minutes left. 3.5 minutes left, maybe. That is a pretty big Aegis to pop. So BKB Lincoln Sphere, where's the damage on this VP lineup? I just don't see it. Like, who is going to do the damage in the fights? Centaur? Mix? I mean, they're okay for killing supports, maybe. Although they didn't get off the Vendetta Strike there. Just go straight into the Impale. And they managed to kill off Ouija Sick, but you compare it to the kind of damage that heroes like your Templar Assassin are putting off, and it's just not even comparable. Hunting for G's. Cheshire Cat, he's got a Blink Dagger cooling down. And a Force Staff to retreat out, and this should be the death of G. Lasso's there, pulls him right back in. They had a global available, did not want to blow it though, and G will pay. Now Illidan's Great Manta, so he's gearing up just for your pure late game. He wants to try and just basically be maximum right-click damage, man-fight Morphling, and win in a 6-slotted fight. If you want to do that, you do want Manta for open wounds. It's a good choice for that. It's the better split pushing build compared to an Ethereal Blade as well. But are you really going to outgame Power Rangers when they have double Midas? They've got multiple carries, when they've got just very reliable late game lockdown, so many single target disables. Are you really going to out late game this team? That's a lot. That's a lot to put on the Morphling's watery shoulders. Speaking of which, looks to me like he's been hitting the gym pretty hard. He's on the Cellucor diet. Jimmy Ho would be very proud. And Ouija Zik with that early Midas pickup is quietly farming into beast mode. Almost has his Aghanim Scepter. I think he'll outdamage everyone except for the Morphling on the enemy team. That's a pretty scary proposition. It also means E-Blade wouldn't be that good for Illidan, because then he's just more vulnerable to the Visage Burst. Spammable Laguna Blades every 4 seconds. It's a lot of damage. No matter what he goes for, that will come his way. There's a smoke towards the top side of the map from Power Rangers. Meanwhile, VP making their move bottom. Both teams, just like two ships passing in the night, even from far away. They are not running into each other. It's like they never even saw each other. Just playing that PvE Dota. Kill the creeps, get money. I want blood. At this point, last game I cast, the Navi versus the retry game was just non-stop aggression. Like 1.5 kills a minute. And it felt like even more action than that, but this game has been just... This is not Russian Dota. Not even 1 kill a minute. 18 kills, 28 minutes in.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Well, the big late game items will come out rather early this game. With the Midases, with Morphling just pretty much free farming, keeping his CS up nicely. 176 to 29 minutes. Considering how much movement he's been making, that's not too bad. Late game will come fairly early. Especially for the Lifestealer. Global gets forced out. Well, not forced out, but used bottom lane, rather. They'll bring down FNG, but he does have buyback. Oh, Scandal. Leaping forward. But who are they actually going to bring down? Not the Morphling, who replicates out to the woods immediately. Then he'll TP home. He's going to heal up. Well, they got a 1 hero, but then again, it's a global for 1-for-1. I want to say advantage Power Rangers, if that's all it is. Is there a Roche available? Nope, still cooling down. So yeah, it's a global for a Lasso and a 1-for-1. But, well, they did kill the Lifestealer instead of the Nyx. So I guess you still get the win to VP there, but this is a pretty decent-sized window for Power Rangers to look to force a fight. 1.5 minutes, no global online. They've got most of their key items. It's a risky fight if they want to take one, because if they lose the fight, then the Roche might go the way of VP, but I think it's just a good opening to try and force something. But if they don't, then yeah, advantage definitely to VP for that. Killed off the enemy carry, well worth it. And Morphling continues to farm. Yasha up, Manta coming next, I imagine. And after that, then he starts getting the damage items. Then you go into your Butterfly, almost a mandatory item this game. If you're going to skip... If you skip the E-Blade, there's no reason not to get Butterfly. 35% evasion. I mean, Scandal could still go for MKB, but he won't have one for some time. It's a strong pickup against two mass physical DPS heroes.
Dire's middle tower
And in comes the push through mid. Looks like they just want to force a VP rotation back, get them off of these side lanes, but maybe they just stick around and try and force the Rex. They've got the level 2 wards available. Glyph already been used up, and now FNG diving the replicate. Illidan's going to pop back in like a magician and look to turn this around, but the ward's going to work. Do they focus the range Rex, or do they go big or go home for the melee here? They manage to kill off the boar, continue to cleave through the creeps. And Batrider blinks in. Out comes the open wounds. The lasso follow-up is there. They bring down Illidan. Does he have buyback available? Yes, he does. Not sure what he's waiting for. His team's fighting in the base. The wards have already killed off the melee Rex. Now they bring down the range Rex. And Illidan just seems sleep at the wheel.
Dire's middle barracks.
Surprise VP didn't try to fight that. I think the global just came off cooldown. And that's what I mean when I say, oh, it's a 1-for-1, but... Global's on cooldown. That can easily be punished. Power Rangers definitely showing the weaknesses of Silencer and just understanding how to play the matchup quite well. At the same time, though, I think it's worth a buyback there to save your Rex. It might have been too late by the time he used it, but if he just jumped in sooner, fought them off, maybe died, and then bought back, that is definitely worth not losing a Rex this early. Losing a Rex 32 minutes in is just, that's a big commitment. Now VP pretty much need this next Aegis. Unfortunately for them, they might find it, although TA's got a trap here, so... Your Radiant squad, the Power Rangers will know. Don't know if the rush respawns. And I think they're well positioned to contest. A lot of good heroes that can just start the fights. Shadow Shaman with a BKB, one of the best, I would say, even. There are two ways to cancel the shackles, though. You've still got your global silence, which if you use it after BKB, will go through it. And same for the Beastmaster Roar, just always a good way to cancel shackles. But then you're using Roar or global just to try and slow down Shadow Shaman, which means you're not using them to kill off the real damage dealers. The Visage, the Lifestealer, the TA. It is a tough predicament. And here comes some potential initiation mid. Batrider trolling around with his Blink Dagger. They're saying we should go on the Silencer first. He's the hero we want to bring down. But there's a roar in from G. Nice Force Staff defensively. Now out comes the Global Silence. They've got to make something happen with this. The wards get deployed. And now the Familiar is going to work. They just destroy Illidan. BKB and Lincolns are not. He is still very squishy. Not buying back. He doesn't have the gold for it. He's 80 gold short. Now they lose their gem as well. 3 heroes fall. And that defensive Force Staff. Who actually did it there? It must have been the Shadow Shaman? No, oh, it's Cheshire Cat, I think. I think it was a defensive Force Staff. Yeah, Dire Side don't have any. That just turned the fight. If Cheshire Cat doesn't get that Force Staff off as quickly as he did, they might have even been able to kill the Lifestealer. They have the Roar to lock him down. They've got decent physical burst. Well, not physical burst, but just general right-click power. But instead, it's 2 lanes of Rex that fall. And VP, well on their way to an 8-7 finish. Power Rangers making a statement here. Likely to finish 7-8 at this point. Up by 20k gold, have the better late game team, have the better late game utility heroes. Overall, and just in fantastic shape. And now they found Jada. He will blink away. He'll pop the Carapace, but now looks for the Impale. Cheshire Cat's gonna Force Staff through it, trying to dodge it. Won't be successful. It doesn't matter. Another kill. The hits just keep on coming. These Power Rangers march into the pit. They'll take the Roche here. Global still cooling down. Beastmaster has a Blink Roar available. Maybe he tries to snatch the Aegis. Will we see a big play out of G? No, we won't. Just gonna let the Roche fall for nothing. And now it's time to end the game, it looks like. That's going to be the plan here. They've got a Rod of Atos coming out for the Visage. Another way to break Lincoln's for a Morphling, so I actually like this choice quite a bit. I mean, you could get something like a Force Staff. That wouldn't be bad either, but this is like a little bit more of just a carry item. Gives you that extra int, and Some decent HP to boot. AC out for the Lifestealer, and Cheshire Cat just skirting around the perimeters of the fight. He's going to go right in. The Global comes out from Menace, but it's a split second too late. They've already lost Jada. Manix Assassin out of the fight. Centaur, he'll be next. 3 already dead in a matter of seconds. And now the chase is on the Morphling. BKB's been popped. He's got a replicate up, I believe, and he will replicate back to the fountain at the last possible second. He tried to draw them back, just stall as long as possible, and it won't matter anyway. Nobody with buyback except for the Morphling. This will be a clean 1-0 sweep, but more like just a clean stomp by Power Rangers is what I'm trying to say here. Never trailed in this game, neither gold nor experience from the word go. Not even for a second, and the GG is called. The throne hits the deck, and VP will drop their final game, but congratulations to Power Rangers. A nice win to round out their season. They now finish 7-8, and this now means that the big match, the important match of the day, is coming up next. It's Power Rangers Empire versus Rock's Kiss. Winner of this match, if it's Empire, will finish 13-2, which means guaranteed first place in the group. If they lose, they're 12-3. They'll be tied with Na'Vi, so guaranteed top 2, top 3. And if Rock's Kiss win, they'll also be 12-3. So we could have a 3-way tie for first place, which means all those teams would advance. If Empire win this match, Alliance is officially eliminated. Cloud9 will have a head-to-head tiebreaker over Alliance. If Empire lose this match, then we have ourselves a 3-way tie. Or sorry, if Empire win this match, we have ourselves a 3-way tie for last place. At which point, we go to the playoffs. So let's see what happens, guys. That match, that very important match, the road to Kiev runs now through Empire. Who's going to be on that road? We'll find out after this. Stay tuned.